How's it going, ladies and gentlemen? It's been a while since I've made one of these videos, at least one with passion and drive, all that happy horse shit. Oh yeah, foul language and trigger words and not PC warning and all that crap. So if you're sensitive, you're going to cry, or harsh topics are going to make you bug the hell out, I'm definitely not the videos to be watching. Today we are going to cover a particularly controversial topic. We're going to cover rape, rape culture, rape society, and every other fucking word of rape. First off, a big issue I see going on lately, and I'm actually a big opponent against, is this mentality that girls have to dress a certain way in school because it leads to impure thoughts, actions, and consequences in school. I've even heard that it distracts male staff members. If as a male teacher or any staff member in school, if a 13-year-old girl's body turns you on, you're in the wrong fucking career, you sick fucking freak. Go fuck yourself. Seriously. Now, do I think girls need to dress modestly? Yes, I think that's self-respect and self-worth. And we can't regulate or dictate that through rules. But that being said, I do think they need to have some decency and self-respect in how they dress. And that's the old guy in me talking, because nobody in this goddamn country has that anymore. But I'm going to cover the topic of taking a young lady out of class, kicking her out of school, etc. because of how she's dressed. Her bra strap, her shorts being above the knee, wearing a certain tank top. If it is not actually showing her tits, her vagina, or her ass, I'm sorry, she should not be removed from school. What you are teaching this young lady is that how boys feel is more important than her education. She has just as much right to an education as the boy sat beside her who can't figure out what the hell to do because a girl might be showing a little bit of an armpit. Now, I went to high school not too long ago. One thing I remember is when guys would cut off their t-shirts and have it ripped all the way down to here. This was very popular amongst the athletes. In football, we did it all the time because it was much cooler to work out in. So you're telling me I get you all the way to my belly button, and that was okay. But the girl sitting beside me couldn't show her fucking armpit. God forbid her bra strap pop out, I'd lose my mind. And I was a horny little bastard. I was trying to fuck everything. And I never seen the problem that the staff did. This is an issue we need to address. First off, we need to address it at the home level. Parents, you need to be buying your children appropriate clothes. You need to make sure they're leaving the house in appropriate attire. And I understand that's hard nowadays, especially as they get older. But if you teach them self-respect and self-worth, they will do that automatically. But most importantly, when you're buying them clothes, your money pays for them. They're in your house. You buy them shit that you're okay with them wearing. But past that, when you deal with staff members in schools that have an issue with how your daughters are dressed, if she is dressed appropriately, a tank top and shorts, I'm sorry, but that's okay to me. If it is okay for a boy to wear it, it is okay for a girl to wear it. I was a smart ass in school. I wore purple glittery lipstick. I wore pink fuzzy slippers. I did several things that were non-masculine to prove the fact that the rules were bullshit. I wore the same exact shade of purple glittery lipstick that a friend of mine did. She was forced to go to the office or the bathroom and wash it off because she was distracting class. As a male student, I was not required to wash mine off. You're telling me a dude in lipstick wasn't distracting in middle school? This was before it was like super cool to be gay. There was only a few gay people, and not in middle school. So that's my point. Now you are going to deal with these situations as parents with daughters. Okay? First off, if you have boys, you teach them that how she dresses does not dictate his actions. Every man, woman, and child on this planet is responsible for their actions and their actions only. There is nothing you can do to make me react differently than how I want to or choose to. Even with a gun to my head, I still have a choice. Granted, it's a pretty extreme choice, but I still have a choice. It is no different for teenagers. It is no different for adults. Her clothes did not make you look at her. Her clothes did not make you have impure thoughts. Her clothes did not make you put your hands on her. Your actions are your own, and if you violate her personal space and rights, you deserve to have your ass beat. I will gladly sign up for that list, okay? I know I don't give a damn if your kid is 17. I'll still smack shit out of them. Now, moms and dads especially, I'm talking to you. This is when I really want you to pay attention to when your daughter deals with these types of situations. Whether it is because of dress code violations or because a young male student was inappropriate with her, said something vulgar, said something disgusting, physically made contact with her, popping her bra strap, pulling at her panties, smacking her ass. You, as a parent, have a fucking obligation to protect your kid, regardless of school rules, school statutes, and state law. Your job is to protect your child. Fathers, listen to me. Your daughter is going to decide how she views men, who she dates, and who she marries based solely off of you. Her mom has so very little, I won't say solely, because her mom has like a 1% in this. How you treat her dictates everything. How you treat your wife in front of her, how you treat women in front of her, dictates how she will be treated, dictates what she will allow. So if you do not stand up for her when she is sexually harassed, sexually assaulted, or discriminated against because of her clothes, she will understand that that is okay and will continue to allow it to happen by other men in her life, whether it be bosses, boyfriends, or husbands. So do not get mad when some dude smacks the shit out of your daughter when you let the other guys do it too. But here's how you're going to deal with this. You're going to teach your daughters that they're to respond calmly. I know. Not fair, but if you want a result, trust me, this will work. Respond calmly. Inform the individual that is bothering them that that is not okay to do. And that they will report them to the proper authorities. School member, a staff member, the Board of Education, city cops. Don't care who it is. And be specific. If it is another student bothering them, I am going to go to the principal and let them know that you are doing this. If it is a staff member, I'm going to go to the principal and let them know. If the principal fails to do so, their job stops. They have done their job. Parents, dads. Are you listening, dads? Dads, are you listening? Good. Dads, especially. Moms, you can do this too. I'm not discriminating against you, but trust me, there's something about when a man does it, especially against a male staff member, they take notice. I'm sorry, there's actually a lot of psychology behind this I'm not going to explain, but we're going to get shit done a little bit differently than women do, okay? Women, you're either passive or you get a little emotional. You don't want emotions in this, ironically. Walk into the call the school and demand to have a meeting with the principal as soon as possible. I'm talking, your daughter tells you when she comes home today, you need to talk to that principal by the end of business tomorrow. Do not give them an option. Okay? You have to start by taking command of the situation. When you walk into that office, you come in very polite, very professional, but stern. You walk in, hi, my name is Nicholas Roberts. You know, when you get to the principal, I want you to walk in. Hi, I'm Nicholas Roberts, and you are? Okay, here's my attorney's contact information in case this meeting does not go as planned. You will be able to contact him immediately after this and deal with that from there. You have now, A, taken command of the situation. You have, B, let them know that there will be repercussions if this situation is not addressed. Now you go for the kill shot. You explain to them that my daughter, I'm going to pick mine, Maddie, came home last night and informed me that little Jimmy popped her bra and your staff member did nothing to address this situation. When she reported it to you, this was your reaction to it. That is not acceptable. I want to know why this student is not being punished for sexual misconduct and sexual assault against my daughter. They are going to start stuttering. You have started throwing all kinds of scary words around. Lawyer, sexual assault. These words scare these people, okay? They're going to start stuttering. I want you to bring little Jimmy and his parents into the office so we can all sit down and have a discussion and figure out how we're going to resolve this. Don't ask them if they were. You tell them they're going to. They may begin to stutter again and say why they can't. Not a problem. You have my attorney's contact information. He will be in touch with you shortly. Do not make an idle threat. Contact your attorney. Contact a attorney. If you don't have an attorney, take an attorney's contact information in with you. Trust me, 99 times you won't need it. They're going to buckle. Now, typically you will see them instantly resort back to wanting to set this up and address this situation. You have to stay on the offense. Do not let them get control of the situation in any way, shape, or form. You tell them they have a certain amount of days. I would recommend within 3 business days. So if it is Monday, they now have until Wednesday at the close of business to address this situation with you, Jimmy, and Jimmy's parents. As soon as they set up this meeting, you're going to come in with the exact same approach you did with the principal. You're going to walk in, you're going to shake the principal's hand. Hi, Mr. Brooks. Thank you for having me back in. You will turn to their parents. You will, hi, my name's Nicholas Roberts. I'm Maddie's dad. And you are. Hopefully they will have the politeness to introduce themselves and shake hands. Here is my lawyer's contact information. In the event that this situation does not get resolved today, you will know who to contact from here on out. You have now again reiterated that you will contact a lawyer. If the situation goes badly, you need to contact that lawyer and have them call the school. If it gets that far, trust me, they're going to fucking hem haul and give you what you want. Schools and parents don't like being sued, especially when you start adding in things like sexual assault, sexual misconduct, because that risks them getting put on a lovely little list called the sex offenders list. That list does not go away when little Jimmy turns 18. Little Jimmy will be a sex offender for the rest of his motherfucking life. They do not want that. You do not want that, to be honest. But they definitely do not want that. Now, you've got their attention. If that is present and you're a man, you need to focus on addressing him so you do not look like you're attacking. You need to ask questions. Why does Jimmy think it is appropriate to assault my daughter like this? Where is Jimmy learning this behavior from? What is the repercussions? Keep them on the offense, or keep them on the defense. They're going to get defensive. They're going to get aggressive. You are out of school, 99 times out of 100, they are not going to do nothing stupid. The other 1% of the time, you have a staff member there present, and they usually have an officer on site at most high schools. And if the school has to call the cops for an assault in progress, they will respond rapidly and with a vengeance. And they are not playing around when they come in. They are going to put Daddy Boy on the floor. After that, explain to the principal that, I'll get to that point in a minute. But we're going to go back to they're cooperating. You need to keep driving it home. If there is a woman involved, ask her, would you be okay if I did that to you? Ask the man the same thing. Would it be okay if I reached over and grabbed your wife's ass? Can I pop her bra? I mean, the way she's dressed is provoking me. Make it personal. Make them feel guilty about it. They should feel guilty. I teach my son that shit's not okay. If I catch him stealing kisses from a girl and making her kiss him, I'm taking him out back and knocking the shit out of him. My son's 11. I'm not going into any more detail than that with him for right now. My daughter has been told to stomp on his feet, kick him in the nuts, and if the school doesn't address it, come get me or come get Trent, her stepdad. Now, you will begin to notice very quickly that these people are going to start getting defensive when you keep mentioning, and don't say, they touched. It's sexual assault. Call it what it is. Mention the fact that it is illegal. It is a crime that you can and will call the cops if this isn't addressed. You can and will pursue legal action against them in civil court. Do not back off. And if they buck on you, which that 1% of the time, they will, you follow through. You go down and you file a police report on little Jimmy. If the school will not cooperate, you file a report against the school as well. You have your lawyer contact the school and start talking and let them take it from there. Now, here's the important part I will tell you, okay? Because there's some of the same girls too. And I'm a big proponent of this. Innocent until proven guilty. Tell your daughters they don't joke about this. This shit's not funny. You can ruin a man's life. One bad allegation. If it's true, they absolutely need to tell you. They absolutely need to make us think about it. But don't make up allegations ever. One, it weakens their credibility in the eyes of anyone in the future. So God forbid something would happen. They'll go back and go, well, she made up an excuse when she was 15 and said, little Jimmy touched her butt and he didn't. You think that won't get a fucking jury to vote not guilty on a rape? It will. It could also put little Jimmy in jail for fucking 15 years for a crime he never did. Two, it weakens the credibility of actual victims too. You talk to guys, and guys are more prone to do the thing of questioning the credibility of the alleged victim. Because it seems like we all have a story of some guy that got fucked over by the system. That happens. That's why we have to preach to our daughters to tell the truth, to tell it accurately. If he smacked her ass, that's what he did. He did not put his hands down her pants. He did not physically restrain her. He smacked her ass. That is a huge issue. But it's a lot different than if he, pinned her against the wall and, forced her to kiss him. Huge differences. Honesty and accuracy. Okay, preach it to your daughters. Teach your daughters to have self-worth and self-respect. Because if they do, they won't let these little shitbirds get away with that. Teach your sons to have self-worth and self-respect. They won't do it. And if your son is the one that does it, You take them out back behind the woodshed, you smack the shit out of them. Seriously. But, also teach your sons, if sons and daughters both, if they see this happening, to intervene. Either go get the proper person, school, cop, librarian, whoever. If they're over 18, they're out in the world, a good stun gun or pepper spray, stomping the shit out of them, teach them self-defense. Okay? Teach them to get involved. We have to end, for the percentage of it that is, which there's arguments over how many people are raped a year and sexual assaults. I'm not even going to get into that debate. There's a lot. There's too many. We have to get involved. As men, we have to get involved. As mothers, you have to get involved. As sons and daughters, we have to get involved and let them know. I've told my son, if his friends are doing it, he's to get involved. And what if they're mad? You don't need friends like that. Friends like that are assholes. You don't need that. Okay. So seriously, walk in, address yourself, find out who they are. Hand them the lawyer's contact information and let them know off rip. I will contact an attorney if this is not dealt with properly. Set up a meeting with Jimmy and his parents. Make him sit in there, especially in front of his mom. Because God, little boys squirm when they've got to explain to their mom why it was okay to put their hands on a little girl. Trust me, 30 years old, I would still duck over my mom. My ex-wife will tell you her mother made me duck my head. She's 5'1". I'm 5'8" and a combat Marine. It's 5'1" little white hair old lady made me duck my head. We do not like being inappropriate in front of our mama. Make him explain it in front of his mom. Make her uncomfortable by asking if you can repeat the actions on her. Ask her husband if it would be okay if you did it to his wife. You're not going to save the world. You're not going to prevent it all. But I promise you that you will make them think. I promise you. And oh yeah, you need to demand that Jimmy is at the very least suspended for his actions. And if not, again, attorney. Because he should be suspended. He should face repercussions. Just my opinion. So, now, I'm going to address another big issue in rape culture that I actually don't hear come from the rape culture, rape society side ever. If you talk to an expert, okay, and this is an important one for you dads, moms, pay attention to your sons. Most leading experts in the field, psychiatry and psychology, that study these behaviors will tell you that everyone that's a rapist was raped. Every sexual assault, attack, aggressor, whatever you want to call them, was at one point a victim. Not everybody that is raped will become a rapist. But everyone that is a rapist was at some point sexually assaulted or raped themselves. We need to address this issue from day one. It's horrible to think of it that way because now we have to watch how we address the now rapist because he was a victim at some point. Or she. There actually is female rapist. But when we see this stuff, we need to get intervened. We need to get a hold of therapists and counselors. We need to start addressing this as soon as we know there's an issue. That is what stems rape. Because they were taught at some point it was normal. How I mentioned that you need to teach your daughters and your sons how to act. You need to teach your daughters and sons self-respect and self-worth. These kids are taught this. Well, dad raped me. Mom knew about it. And my brother watched. So it was okay. Dad did it to all of us and mom knew he was raping us. So it must be normal. I watched dad do it to mom. So it must be okay. We need to address that issue. Okay, you address the root cause of an issue. We've all heard you don't build a house from an unstable foundation. You don't fix a house from the roof down. If you have big cracks and gaps in a brick building and you find out that the foundation is crumbling, do you address the fact that there's a crack in the wall or do you fix the foundation and then reinforce the wall? Well, you can reinforce the wall. It's going to fall down again. The foundation shot. We need to get all the way back. Sorry, guys. My nose is itchy like hell. We need to get back and address the foundation. There is an epidemic of pedophilia in this country like we've never seen. That's where we get rapists from. Because they're taught that it's okay to rape. They're taught it's okay to take it. They're taught that people are to be used and abused. So until we address that issue, until we really address the fact that a lot of male children are raped, and were raped at young ages, and were abused at young ages, by family members, by close family friends, brothers, dads, uncles, the neighbor, the teacher. God damn, I can't turn on the news anymore without some teacher dicking down a student. This teaches these young, impressionable minds that it is okay to do that. And we have to stop that for 2 reasons. Well, for 3 reasons. 1, it's fucking wrong. If I've got to explain that to you, seriously, go start a fucking running car. Right around the exhaust pipe, just until you have a clear thought. Secondly, that is where we're getting more rapists from. Males are statistically more likely to become a rapist instead of a perpetual victim. Okay? This happens. So when a male is raped, there's a chance it drastically increases his odds of becoming a rapist himself. When women are raped, they're actually more likely to become a repeat victim. That means that once a young lady is raped at the age of 6, 16, or 60, she is statistically more likely to be raped and abused again. Let that sink in. We have to address this at an early age. We have to start fixing this problem at an early age. We have to tell our daughters it's not their fault. And we have to re-strengthen them so they don't become victims again or rapists. We have to teach our sons not to be victims again or rapists. We have to teach them that this behavior has to stop. We have to teach self-confidence, self-worth, and self-respect because we don't know more. I seen a young lady across the road from me, I'm going to guess in her early 20s, and I've actually got pictures of it. She is in a blue tutu that literally does not cover her ass. And when I say doesn't cover her ass, there was nothing covering her bare naked ass. I'm sure if she'd have turned around, I'd have seen just as much in the front. She didn't wake up that morning and decide to dress like that after having some self-worth and self-respect her whole life. She was never taught to have self-respect. Teach your daughters to have respect in the way they dress, the way they present themselves, the way they conduct themselves, the way they talk to other people, the way they talk about themselves. Teach your sons the same goddamn thing. Because if not, they grow up with the vocabulary of a fucking sailor. With shaggy hair and a dirty old ball cap. But you won't find somebody that takes more pride in their work than me. That's actually proud of what I have. I brag about what I have, not because I'm doing better than somebody, but because I'm proud of what I've earned. Like this. That's Scout. He's over here freaking out because I'm getting upset. Ladies and gentlemen, if you want to end this rape culture, this rapist society, self-worth, self-respect, addressing it when they're kids, instantly getting involved in a proactive and professional way. The biggest mistake I see with all of this is when something happens, the victim responds with hysterics or drama, or dramatically. Not saying it's not a dramatic situation, but nobody takes hysterics correctly. If you walk into a school and threaten to beat the principal's ass, they're going to call the cops on you, nothing is going to happen. If you threaten to stomp your boss's ass, you're going to get fired and nothing is going to happen to him. And afterwards, when you say, well, it's because he touched my butt, it's because he made inappropriate comments, they're going to say that it is retaliation. Now, if your boss, your principal, your classmate, your coworker, the guy down the street says something and you respond with, that is not okay, I do not appreciate that, and you need to quit that now before I contact the proper authorities, again, supervisors or whoever, they're probably going to laugh and joke it off. Follow up. Instantly follow up. If that individual on the street laughs at you, you instantly go for your phone and call 911. Hi, there is a sexual assault in progress and I need immediate assistance. Oh, and for recommendation, DNA really helps. Scratch or bite. Get blood. Scratch works really good and it's a lot more sanitary. They can dig it out of your nails. They can also, check his face when he's got a big claw mark right here. It'll help conviction. But not until you have to. Okay? But if you make a threat to follow up with a lawyer, law enforcement, the proper authorities of any level, you have to actually follow up. Or that individual is going to realize you're not going to follow up and they'll keep doing it. You want it to stop? Take a proactive approach. Don't ask them to stop. Take command of the situation and demand that they stop. And when they won't, you follow up. Law enforcement, your supervisor, your principal, your teacher, your big brother, your dad, You're pissed off local redneck. Because most of us ain't got no problem getting somebody's ass. Alright, y'all, I've been going on for 25 minutes here, and I think my dog may have to pee. So I'm going to go take him out to pee. Hopefully this information is helpful. And you guys learned something. And if you got any questions, hit me up. I will answer them as best I can. Give you any advice. I try to help where I can. Y'all have fun.